the real Resident Evil fan? Not you. I've been there since day one. Look at this. Resident Evil 3. Been there since day one. So don't try and sit there and say, oh, Macklin, you ain't a real Resident Evil fan. You don't have any idea on what you're talking about. It's really time to wake up. Now, I know some of you are going to get so upset. Oh, Macklin, this is clickbait. Duh! I clickbait to potentially spread awareness about this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3. You know why? Because that is what Capcom has asked us to do. And hey, if you're here because of the clickbait, then that gives me an opportunity. That gives me an opportunity to educate you on really what's happening here in regards to this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3. Duh! But I know that's hard for you to follow. So let me educate you. Sit down, shut your mouth, because folks, class is in session. There is definitely a possibility that this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3 is shown off at E3 2019. Now, I know some of you are so skeptical over that idea. You're like, oh, Macklin, it ain't gonna happen. Let me explain. And again, listen. This all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3 is rumored to drop as soon as January 2020. So if this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3 is dropping as soon as January 2020, then that means that Capcom is going to have to show it off sooner rather than later. And I think, folks, E3 2019 may very well be that time and place where Capcom pulls the curtain back in a surprising way to go, stairs. I don't know how hard that is to understand. And I know you're going to sit there and say, oh, Michael, it's too soon. It's too soon. Is it really too soon? Because again, this rumor has this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3 being outsourced. That means that Capcom didn't directly develop the game. So if they handed this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3 off to someone else, they could have very well have been developing this game alongside this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2 in secrecy. So yes, they had time to do it. And yes, folks, there is definitely a possibility that E3 2019 is going to be the time and place for this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3 to really shine. But you fake Resident Evil fans, you continue to come out of work to set up roadblocks because you're jealous of this real Resident Evil community that we built here. Well, when it happens at E3 2019, guess what, folks? You're not invited to the party. You're not invited!